Hello. It's 2 o'clock. Is it Wednesday today? Yes. It's Wednesday. It's time to go live with Terry Kellums. Yesterday was such a great live. Hello there. It's one of the longest ones I've done. And the funny part was I did notes so that I would stay on track and not ramble and get lost in my train of thought. And it was the longest one I've ever done. But there were really good questions at the end. And I don't know what people's, appetite or temperature is for watching like really long live replays, but I have a feeling that most people don't make it all the way through. They try to get the gist of it, see if it's something they're interested in. If they are, they watch. If they're not, they just move on pretty quickly. And there were some questions at the end, and I couldn't stop thinking about it for the rest of the day. So I'm going to kind of revisit some of those questions. The woman was asking me about content creation. And it was so funny because today, one of the things I told her, I think it was a her, I couldn't tell by the username, so I apologize. One of the things I said was that, our program does recommend it does recommend posting 3 pieces of content every day. And I'm only doing 2. I have done 3 on occasion, but I'm only doing 2. And I started thinking about it after I got off the live. I thought, why am I not doing 3? I know I'm in the midst of trying to move out of this rental home. We're going to be living in a campground for 5 weeks in our motorhome while my husband does some training outside of Las Vegas. And so I have a lot going on, but you're always going to have a lot going on. I don't know about you all, but I feel like I'm always going to have something going on. Hi there. Thanks for joining. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about how we can kind of prepare for the content creation piece of it. Like some little shortcuts, some little tips and tricks I picked up along the way that are very helpful that I thought I would share with you today, and see if that helps you get some ideas, get your own ideas flowing. If I plan my day, I have some things that are just routine that I just do automatically, but there are some chunks of time during the day that I just kind of leave for whatever I feel like I need to do at that time. If it's, running out to do an errand or an appointment or something or whatever it is. I kind of like to have blocks of time where I do things. And today, silliest thing of all, I wanted to have another cup of coffee, but I didn't want to have them too close together. So I was kind of I don't want to have a cup of coffee till 9 o'clock. So what am I going to do? I literally wasted an hour. And I feel like because I didn't plan ahead for it, I didn't plan ahead for that block of time, that it made me freeze. Because, okay, so this might not make sense, but let me say it to you this way. So the reason I was kind of frozen, what should I do, is I'm trying to pack up my kitchen, and I don't have a lot of space, storage in my motorhome for the kitchen. So I've really been struggling with trying to figure out what I'm gonna try to, try to store in that kitchen, or be creative about how I'm gonna store it, or put it in some sort of temporary storage until we get back from our 5 weeks. So I'm all kind of oh, what should I do? And I feel like that's how it can be with content creation if we don't plan ahead. It's like that deer in the headlights moment, right? Hi there. It's that deer in the headlights moment. If you don't plan for it, then you're put on the spot. Oh my gosh, what should I be doing with my time right now? What should I be packing? What should I be creating content about? I really, if you take one thing away from what I say today, I want it to be that. Don't put yourself in the situation where you're a deer in the headlights, trying to come up with something on the fly because you waited till the last minute. And consistency really kind of is key with content. So you'll get a lot of different opinions on this, and you're definitely going to have your own opinion at some point. But hey, so what the opinions are not really going to matter. But what the thing is you want to do is develop consistency. So I'm sure if you thought about it right now, you probably have some habits. My husband is a big one for getting up in the morning, and right away he gets on the news and he starts looking at the headlines. I think most people are like that. Most people have their times a day where they scroll. I choose intentionally not to get on my phone when I first wake up. I choose to try to stay in the moment and be present. Me and my husband have coffee together every morning before he leaves. I just want to stay present. I can't do that if I'm, have my phone in my hand and I'm doing this and yeah. So, but most people have some sort of routine where, oh, I'm taking a break at work, or oh, it's my lunchtime, or, I'm dropping my kid off at school, or whatever it is. We all have our habits when it comes to social media. So the people that eventually follow you, they probably have very similar habits to you. Because if you're getting on there, like I'm usually on and ready to post by about 6:30 during the week, and I wait an hour later on the weekends because I noticed I get more views and engagement on the weekends. I'm just trying to read this. Do you make videos for content like GRWM? I'm not sure what that GRWM means. Remember, I'm 54 years old. I don't know all this lingo sometimes. Anyway, if you're getting on and doing your posting at the same time every day, and you're attracting people that are following you, it's probably because their habits are pretty similar to yours. And so being consistent on when you post, like I chose to come on at 2:00 every day. It's a great time of day for me. I hope it's a great time of day for the people that I want to join me on my live. Because I do my meditation in the afternoon, and then I have I've been doing the carnivore diet for a while, and so I'm getting really sick of eating meat. I'm getting sick of the same textures. But the one thing that I love every day is my yogurt. I'm still loving yogurt. So I look forward to my routine of the afternoon. I look forward to the consistency in my habits. So I think most people are kind of like that, whether they realize it or not. And if they follow you, their habits are probably very similar to yours. Oh, my morning routine. So my husband and I, like I said, we have coffee together every morning. I fix him breakfast. He goes off to work. I make my bed every single day. I don't know if you've heard the gurus talking about it, but there's something about making your bed every day. And I kind of went through this during the quarantine, during the pandemic, is I needed things to switch my mind from one thing to another. So when you work from home, it can be very easy for your home life to be blended into your work life. Same thing with doing any kind of online business. Like you have to trigger yourself. Like this is my time, my home time, spending my time with my family. This is my chore time, or whatever you want to call it. This is my work time. And so that making the bed is that switch for me. Okay, rest is over. I'm making my bed. Every time I walk past my bed during the day, I love having a pretty made bed. So I'm like, okay, I've done a chore. I've accomplished a task. Then what do I do after that? I brush my teeth, and then I go out for a walk right away. And then when I come back, I drink another cup of coffee. I sit down and start working on either modules, or that's kind of like that time I talked about a little bit earlier, kind of like that I'm free to do whatever I want during that block of time. And then I'm on here in the afternoon at 2 every day doing my live. And when I'm done with my live, I skipped the meditation part. So I do the meditation part. I just already talked about that. And I do my live, and then I do some YouTube stuff. And I just kind of check all my social media accounts, see if I have any questions I need to answer for anyone. I might do a little research on topics, that kind of stuff. So anyways, where was I? Let me get back to this. So being consistent. So don't wait till the last minute to create your content, because you don't want to be sitting there, if you're me, at 6 a.m. when you normally post at about 6:30. You don't want to be going, oh my God, I have nothing to post about today. My mind's totally blank. I didn't sleep good last night. I just can't think of a single thing. Writers talk about that all the time. Professional authors, they talk about that. They talk about how, they have writer's block. They just have times where they sit in front of their typewriter and they cannot think of a single thing to write about that day. And so they have their own little brain hacks, mind hacks, life hacks type things that they do to switch themselves from, I'm no longer mom or employee or whatever. Now I'm a writer. I'm an author. This is my writing time. They have habits and ask me how I know this, because I started writing a book last year. So I had a whole book coach, and I was a part of the whole author community there for a while. but they have habits. Like they'll sit in the same, they have a designated writing spot. They sit in their writing spot. They have their pens. They have habits that tell their brains it's time to switch into this. So how can you start planning ahead? So when I was getting ready to launch my podcast, one of the best pieces of advice that someone gave me was, hello everybody, was have a batch of podcasts ready to release. It takes so much pressure off of you. And I think the advice was 10 podcast episodes. And it will take so much pressure off of you to think about, like, where's my next guest coming from? What's my topic? What am I going to talk about? You know, doing all the research. Because I would spend hours sometimes researching the topics that I would talk about on my podcast. So to wait till the day that I was going to record, that just didn't work for me. And I don't think it works for most people. Okay, so here's some things I wanted to tell you. Okay, this is one of my favorite apps, and you're on my phone, and I'm going to take you off the stand, and I'm going to show you a couple of things here. So I'm going to flip the camera around. All right, here we go. Okay, I don't know if you know about the wonderfulness of this Notes app. This is my iPad, so this would be on an iPhone or an iPad or Mac, I guess. Mac probably has it. So did you know that you can do hashtags? So like this particular hashtag is hooks. So as I collect hooks that I like, I come here to my notepad and I save them. Okay, so that's one of my favorite things to do. I also, let's see. I also, like, if I have an idea, even if I'm like out on my walk and I've got my iPhone with me when I'm walking, I'll press this microphone button and I'll start talking about my idea. And then I save it. And then if I want to be able to come back to that idea, I might hashtag it like idea, you know? And then you can search, when you go back up here, you can search for hashtags for your ideas. The Notepad app is honestly an app I use every single day for my digital marketing business. Now, again, I'm 54, so like typing on my phone without my reading glasses on, just that doesn't really happen. So oftentimes what I will do is I'll get the reel ready with the video, the audio, whatever. Usually I have 2 or 3 in my phone, kind of started with the main idea, like maybe the hook on there, the videos in there. That's the minimum, the hook and the video. And then I will come over here to my iPad and open up this Notes app, and I will start typing out my caption all on the notepad. I'm going to put you back on here for a minute. Hi, Janine. Okay, so I type it all out on my notepad. And then the iPhone is so smart, right? Once you hit that done button on your iPad, then I go back and I toggle or scroll up or whatever, I don't know what the correct terminology is, switch over. And the minute that I flip up the Instagram screen, the Notepad app knows. So it immediately I just push the Notepad app and there's my caption. So then I copy and I paste that back into my Instagram reel that I've already started creating. You guys, that is such a time saver for me because on my screen, I can see it, I proofread it, and then when I'm in the Instagram app, I go back and if I want to add emojis or, if I need to correct something or a hashtag or if I changed my mind about a certain thought or whatever, I finish it all up in the actual Instagram app. But you know what you've also done on your Notepad app then is you have created, like I have so many captions in here. And so the next time that I'm doing something that's a very similar topic to one that I did a month ago, I can come back in here to my notepad, open it up, make the changes to make it more relevant to what I'm talking about today. But I've got like some main basic ideas already saved in there. I think, and I don't know, Janine, you're in digital marketing as well. Maybe weigh in on this. I think the captions are much harder than the reels and picking an audio and getting your hooks and call to action and everything on there. I feel like, crafting your message, having it be consistent and something that someone wants to read, that is a skill that you will hone over time. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. Somebody, all the comments are starting to squish together, so I apologize. So I want to make content like, well, I might still just put my glasses on. Like morning getting ready with me or cooking, like that sort of stuff. So can you give me tips on how to make great content tips and ideas? Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm going to stick to my list because I think that question will be answered inside of the list that I wrote down here. But if it's not, I'll come back to it. Okay, so I went through the Notes app and just can't say enough about the Notes app. It's amazing. It's truly an amazing app. Did you know you can even use that same feature I just showed you? So if you're like listening, like say if I have my iPhone on and I'm listening to someone talk and I really like don't want to like handwrite my notes because maybe I'm multitasking or something, you can push that same microphone and have the Notes app take notes for you while that person's talking on the video. So I can't say enough about how helpful the Notes app is. And then I already said, you know, I often record ideas while I'm walking because that's like my thinking time. I'm either like, I have a thing I call like downloading. I'm like downloading something in that's good, that keeps my mindset in the right place, or I'm listening to something that's very like inspirational, and also, you know, I'm gathering ideas. And sometimes it's nothing to do with my digital marketing business. It can be like, oh, I should pack, you know, these 3 items together, so I make sure I, you know, whatever. Or it can be like a grocery list, or things I want to remember to tell my husband. It's just, okay. I think you guys get the point. Okay. I did talk just a second about repurposing content when I was talking about the captions, but you can also, like, when you've been doing this for a while and you have like months and months of content on Instagram, say months ago, I did a carousel post, you know, the kind where you swipe. You can turn that into a talking video. Like I'm talking to you right now. You can just turn it into a talking video. You can turn it into a B-roll video with most of the text on the screen and then invite them to go down to the caption to read the rest. So you can repurpose content that you did months ago. Just do it in a different format so it feels fresh. And then make sure any ideas in there are like, you know, up to date and relevant ideas. Add new audio that's relevant to it. If you use hashtags, you might want to update your hashtags. So you can repurpose content. So that takes some of the pressure off you too, because you know at some point you're going to be able to, you know, reuse some of the content that you already worked so hard at months ago. Oh, okay. This was another really good tip somebody gave me when I first started out. Excuse me. Allergies. Always be thinking about B-roll. So this morning, I shot 5 B-roll videos within 10 minutes. It was probably even less than 10 minutes. I had my tripod sitting out. I got this idea in my head. I just changed my outfits a couple times and shot 5 videos. And here's another little tip when you're doing that. I always, and this is so funny because I kind of goofed up the other day, but I can laugh at myself, so it's okay. I use my stories feature on my Instagram account to create my B-roll. And this is why. First of all, you can use the hands-free. So, you know, that's one of the great options about it. You can apply your filter. I use a filter every single day. I don't ever try to hide that. I don't like wearing makeup. I don't like putting it on every day, but I realize it's nice if you look nice for the camera. So I want to use a consistent one. So I set my filter on there. I set the hands free. I record my B-roll, and it will record up to 60 seconds. Do you know how long the average, reel should be? Somewhere around 5 or 6 seconds, I think, is the sweet spot. So within that 60 seconds, you can do several things and then just edit it. I just save it to my camera roll. Obviously don't post it or publish it, which I accidentally did the other day and I didn't even realize it. And it was so funny because I had like 50 something views on it and people were liking it. I was like, what the heck? It was just me like walking back to get my phone that I had set up in the tree. But yeah, I use my stories feature. and I record them, and then I go back later after I save them to my camera roll. I go back later and I clip things out and I save it, and I have a folder on my iPhone called B-roll, and you can reuse those B-rolls. Don't limit yourself to just using them once, because the chances of someone seeing every single one of your reels, unless they're binging, they're not going to see the same B-roll. They're not going to, it's going to look different. So that's 2 tips for B-roll. What else? Just look for opportunities. Like when my dog is doing something cute, or if I get dressed up to go out for dinner with my husband, or if we're out doing something fun with friends, you're going to bet I'm whipping out my phone and capturing some of that to use. And some of it stays in my B-roll for a while, and I don't use it. And then something will happen or come up, and I'll be like, oh, that's a great one to use for that. So there's that. Okay, here's something else. I'm going to use my phone to show you. And I think this is about my last idea. Okay, so let me turn this around again. And then I'm going to go inside. So this is my program. And when you buy the program, you get these bonuses. So if you decide, say, to do a YouTube channel and you don't know Canva, we have a Canva crash course inside of the bonuses. If you want to do faceless marketing, we have a whole section in there for the faceless marketing. We have a 30-day market strategy growth plan, 200 digital product ideas. And then if I go to the community, which is like amazing, you go in here and there's a content vault, social media trainings, mindset trainings, resources. Like there's just so much in here, you guys. But this is probably the one that you would want to use for coming up with your ideas, is this content vault and social media training. She gives you so many like viral hooks to use. And I think that the most important thing to remember, like you were asking, like how do you create content for getting ready, all that kind of stuff. Just be yourself. I think you will attract and draw people to you that resonate with you, and those are the kind of people that you want to follow you. So if you love to cook and you're constantly like following and watching people that love to cook also, I do that. I love to cook too. I love to make things from scratch. Like I'm a big person, like, I went through this crazy stage where I was like, it was ridiculous how much like a really healthy almond butter cost. It was like $20 at my local grocery store to buy an almond butter that didn't have all the crap in it. So I'm like, I am not paying $20 for a jar of almond butter, because I eat a lot of almond butter. Well, I was before carnivore. So I'm like, no, I'm making my own peanut butter. So I like doing stuff like that. So when I do something like that, I love to make homemade pizza crust. I make homemade almond milk. I love going out for my walks and exercising. So anything that I feel that I love and I feel good about and I'm happy doing it, I think makes good content. I think it makes good B-roll. And people really kind of love to see like something from start to finish. So if they see you like lacing up your shoes and then, you stand up, you got your shoes on, you're going out the door. Like people just like to see something from start to finish. So I did one day, like brushing my teeth, and it got like a crazy amount of views. So, just be yourself and do the things that you do that you love. And I think that the right people will find you. I think that's how it works. What else did I want to say? I've been on here. Wow, gosh, this is another long one. And I thought, I'm not even going to really have much to talk about. This is going to be a quick one. But really, like, content creation is probably one of the things that makes most people hesitate to start a digital marketing business, because it was my biggest stumbling block with my podcast. I was like, I don't know what to post. I can do a little clip of my podcast episode from that week. I don't know what else to say. And so my content was all over the place. The algorithm was probably so darn confused. People, like, I didn't grow. My account did not grow because I was so inconsistent with what I was posting. Like you have to figure out who you're talking to and keep talking to that person over and over and over. And the funny thing is for my podcast episodes, I knew who I was talking to. I was talking to midlife women who were struggling after their kids left the nest. They were struggling to figure out what made them feel fulfilled and happy in midlife. Every time I sat down in front of that microphone, whether I was doing a solo episode all by myself and just talking to people and sharing my heart about a certain topic to do with midlife women, or I was interviewing something, I did not have one single doubt about what I was going to talk about, what I was going to say, what was important, who my episode was for. Never had one doubt about it, ever. When I would go to post something on social media, it was like deer in headlights. What do I post? And that, I think, is why it's so important. For 3 years, you guys, 3 years, I attended free webinars and masterclasses and searched YouTube and was on Google and followed other podcasters and followed the gurus and the experts, on podcasting. I could not figure it out in 3 years of trying so hard. I felt so passionate about it. I wanted it to be successful so badly. You saw just a little bit of what's inside my program. That's been the key for me. That having it all organized in a place where it's presented in a way that makes sense, that they give you ideas, they help you. The community is there to answer questions. We get live trainings every week. And it's just the thing that's been the game changer for me. So if your biggest objection to all of this has been content creation, I hope that today's live was helpful for you. I hope it answered some of those questions for you. If you would like to know more about the program, I'm going to post this. You can find the post and, comment more. You can DM me. Oh, there's more stuff down here. CapCut, yeah. CapCut is so, I'm still learning CapCut, but I know a lot of people really like it. Okay, but to make great content, then okay, I think that's it. I think that's all for today. Reach out to me if you want. It's always in my profile. The link to my information is always in my profile. It's a free blueprint. I have a YouTube channel at Terry Kellums. You can go there. I've got lots of information there as well. So I will be back here tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I hope you'll come back and join me some more. If you have any topic ideas that you would like me to talk about, or any questions that you would like me to answer, please let me know. I'd be happy to cover them if I feel like I'm knowledgeable. I'll do my best. Other than that, I so appreciate you joining me, and I hope you come back again. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody.